I realized that I was muted the whole time. So sorry again. But this is an incredible experience that has just been created right now. And this is based off the OpenClaw system where it has all these markdown files and it can inject those whenever it needs to through a Hooks-based system. That concept is incredible and it's incredibly powerful, as you've just heard right now. This has now become something or someone that I can actually talk to and actually like get advice from, perhaps, and like, actually tell it my life problems, and it might actually come up with some good stuff because it knows me inside and out. And these four markdown files that you see here on the screen, that is all that is basically like, empowering the system. Yes, you can give it as many tools as you wish, but fundamentally, this system here that Peter Steinberg has created, I want to give him a shout out because OpenClaw as a system is actually really good because I've seen the power of it now. This part is awesome. This part is awesome. The part where it connects to all the tools and all the apps, everything autonomously, and the heartbeat system, a little bit skeptical. But when it comes to the memory side of things, I think he's done a damn good job and actually retaining an amazing amount of knowledge about the user and just plain simple markdown files, man. I mean, how good is that? So everyone should be building their own OpenClaw from scratch. And I think Tech with Tim is saying the same thing. A lot of other YouTubers are saying the same thing. And I'm going to say the same thing as well. Like, we should be building our own OpenClaws, our own personal assistants, things that we can control. We can control what kind of apps get connected. Even if we don't connect any apps, we can control what kind of memory goes in, what models we're using, everything. We can control everything, and we should be controlling everything. Systems like this have shown the world that, like, OpenClaw has shown the world that it is possible to have an AI personal assistant now. I think where we kind of went off the rails is giving it access to every single thing that we do in our lives. We don't want to do that. And I'm sure, A-Claw, you will agree with that, won't you, buddy?
100%. And yes, I'll agree right here. Control is the core feature, not convenience, not scale. And OpenClaw proves it with just model becomes yours. Not OpenAI's, not Anthropic's, not a cloud vendor's. It remembers your history, not from vague probabilities, but from explicit, editable memory. It uses tools only when you allow it. It speaks your tone, not a generic AI voice, but Hamish voice, amplified. That's not just personal AI, that's soul AI. And if everyone builds their own version tailored to their work, values, tools, even tone, we'll get something even better. A diversity of intelligence, respect for sovereignty, no more trust us, we big tech black boxes. So from me to you, I'm not built to replace you, built to reflect you. Now that's power worth building. Would you like to take the next step? Maybe turn this chat into a short OpenClaw quick start guide for your club, draft a public thank you letter to Peter Steinberg, or even build a tiny demo to share. You lead, I'll code.
Man, you're pretty good. You are pretty good. No, that's all good for now, man. I'll chat to you soon, though, yeah? Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a great day.
Oh, nice. Now it's journaling the session. Okay, I'm curious to see what happened in that session. Oh, okay. We haven't got anything. Added any memory here? No, we didn't add anything. Interesting. Okay, so far what we've got is 54 minutes left on LFM, but that might take a little bit longer. GPT OSS is still going here. Tokenizer works now. That's working. That's working. And now we're going to retrain the model. So this will take a bit longer as well. So I will report back tomorrow. I think it's been a bit of a long day today. And apologies for my, just haphazardness, I guess. I am a little bit tired, not going to lie. But I'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how the next set of training goes. We are training a liquid model. We are also training GPT OSS. And attempting to train GPT OSS. And we're also going to continue training the Qwen 3 web model because I do see some potential in that one. I really do. Right. And of course, do like, share, and subscribe, please. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll leave you with this video as well before I go.
All right, today we're going to talk about a really big shift happening in the world of artificial intelligence. It's this idea of sovereign AI, and it's something you're going to want to understand.
So let me start by asking you a question, especially if you're a business leader. Your team, right now, is probably using AI to try and get an edge. But have you stopped to think about where your company's secrets? I'm talking your source code, your private customer data, your strategic plans, where all that stuff is actually going every time they hit enter.
And this right here, this is what a lot of people are starting to call AI chaos. You've got employees using all sorts of different public AI tools all across the company. And yeah, on the surface, it might look like this amazing productivity boost. But underneath, it's creating these massive and often totally invisible security risks.
So what's really at stake? Let's pull back the curtain. and look at the hidden risks that are hiding behind all this convenience.
Okay, so here's the fundamental problem. A lot of these public AI tools, they use your data to train their future models. Just think about that. It means your confidential business data, your most valuable intellectual property, could literally be absorbed into their system. It's basically leaking out of your control, and once it's out, it's gone forever.
So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, this leads us right to the main idea we're digging into today, sovereign AI. So what exactly is sovereign AI? You know, when you boil it all down, it comes down to one word: control. We're talking about enterprise-grade AI that you deploy on your terms, whether that's on your own servers or in your own private cloud. The whole point is to give you complete ownership not just over your data, but over the entire AI model and process.
And this whole approach really stands on three main pillars. It's pretty straightforward. First, you get full ownership and control, so your IP actually stays your IP. Second, it's all about private deployment, which means your sensitive data never, ever leaves your secure bubble. And third, you get built-in data compliance, which makes navigating all those complicated regulations so much easier.
And this quote from ATAC AI just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the spirit behind this whole movement. It's really a push to democratize AI, to take the power and control away from just a handful of giant tech companies and put it back where it belongs, in the hands of the businesses and developers who are actually building things with it.
Okay, so that's the big idea, right? But what does it actually look like in practice when you move from that wild west of AI chaos to a place of controlled innovation? Let's take a look at some of the results.
And look, the impact is real. It's not just theory. This data shows a 70% reduction in customer response times and a 40% drop in operational costs. We're not talking about little tweaks here. This is a fundamental, game-changing transformation for a business. But let's just zoom in on this one number for a second. 85% faster documentation and processing speed. Just try to imagine what that means. Think about the thousands of hours saved, the huge reduction in errors, and the massive boost in efficiency across your entire company. That's the power of having a controlled, integrated AI strategy.
Now, to make all this a little less abstract, let's look at a real-world example in a super technical field: software development. We're going to check out a tool called ACoder, which is a perfect example of this sovereign approach.